Hey peeps, Dr. T here. I know, firing your doctor can be rough. I too was once an allopath. Alright, males here. Right, like allopathy, standard westernized medicine, right? I grew up, born in New York, born and raised. And so, pretty much tried to cure everything with a pill or a shot of booze maybe. So yeah, there was lots of pharmaceuticals around in the 70s, and so many more today. Basically, until I was in my late 20s, 25 or so, I began to really withdraw. Maybe even earlier, 23, I think it was. Around that age, I did have a lot of back pain, so you can imagine I was on an abundance of painkillers and stuff like that for a little bit, and they don't work too good for too long. And, some of y'all are on lots of different medications, from antidepressants, antipsychotics, the list goes on. Yeah, the list goes on. All right, so, do not dismay. I see a lot of patients when they have already decided to go clean, to go clear, as they say. All right, so if you're going clear, then perhaps you've already found yourself, a naturopath, a chiropractor, and it's hard for you to, get off the medical insurance, Western medicine idea. It's hard to let go. It took me years to transition, and pardon the way I said that. Still transitioning, from allopathic medicine to holistic medicine, right? So really just kind of living a natural life, trying to avoid drugs and surgery as much as possible. I think everything has its place, and those things are really good for certain emergencies. It can be totally crucial. So, kudos to humanity for developing techniques and knowledge and tools to prolong life and, I guess, lessen the suffering of others. That's really crucial because, you don't want to suffer. Some of us might be a little bit masochistic and might enjoy suffering, but they say that's not really a healthy mindset, so, hopefully that's not the majority. But yeah, some people like pain, and they're addicted to pain, and so you got to ask yourself, hey, am I one of those people? If you're addicted to painkillers, you probably are addicted to pain. I've been there, I'm there. Pretty much pain-free at the moment. Maybe some stiffness, very stiff, feeling kind of out of shape. It's not COVID. Just kidding. All right, I took my daily chest X-ray this morning, and I'm good. So what are we looking at here? We're looking out the window. Got a nice view here in Northern California, kind of northern-ish. Yeah, things are good. Life is good, and if you're firing your doctor, life is looking good for you. Okay. Now, if you want to stay within the medical system, many people are going to have a hard time just, breaking up completely with the ex is one thing, and then not talking to them ever again is totally another thing. So you may keep one foot in the system. Maybe you have medical insurance associated with your work. If you drop that insurance, maybe you can get compensated, perhaps in other ways, get more put into your retirement fund, or get the cash. And then you could go a more natural method. A lot of employers are giving options, and so, there's chiropractic plans out there and stuff where you could just pay cash. Most chiropractic is really cheap. I mean, even if you're jacked, like super jacked, I couldn't imagine you spending more than $10,000 a year on chiropractic. It'd be pretty hard to do that. Even $5,000. A lot of people are going to give you a plan. If you need a good year's worth of intense chiropractic they sell plans, $5,000, $3,000, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's kind of good. You commit, like going to the gym, and heck, you could get it for a lot cheaper. I have chiropractors that are my friends who really just give it away, like charity work. God bless their hearts. But so yeah, if you're on a real tight budget financially, and that's your main concern, you can don't dismay. You can find someone out there to help you, and I don't try to turn people away. I try to be the most expensive chiropractor around, but certainly, we've done our share of, I guess, pro bono work and worked on homeless people and like that. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you're not feeling your doctor, you want to try to get off your medications. That's what a lot of people are talking about. That's why they're firing their doctors. They want to be more natural, more healthy. They feel like, the medications are dragging them down, and they're probably right if they're looking into researching them and the side effects. Then it becomes evident that it's not the best schema for the long term. There can be, more side effects long term, right, than short term. So if the pharmaceuticals need to be a short term solution, and God bless them, and you could probably avoid most side effects. Problem is, if you're taking, 15 different pills every day with, really strong toxic drugs that are going to have a lot of side effects, then, yeah, I mean, people see things like liver damage, and I guess you could even, damage other organs too. And that's not the idea, right? That's not why the doctor's giving you all these medications. They're trying to help you, and if they're not trying to help you and they're more worried about their pocketbook or something else, then that's a great reason to fire your doctor, right? You might have a great doctor, and you just might never get any time with them. Maybe they're just not as naturalistic as you need them to be, and so you can keep them there in the background, right? Like, well, you could work with a naturopath, chiropractor. Get yourself a team of doctors. If you got bad health, whatever. I've bartered for dental care and chiropractic, and geez, you'd be surprised. You can barter, right? There's no excuse not to take care of your health, is what I'm really trying to say. So, don't let money be the excuse. If that's the case, then you kind of really probably need to overcome that idea that that's a block, because it is, and you're allowing it to be. But if you say, hey, I'm not going to accept any excuses, any obstacles, I'm certainly not going to let money get in the way, right? Like, if you don't have any chiropractors or naturopaths and, whatever, there's always the internet, right? There's a lot of support, a lot of people on the internet. I chat with people jumping into my DMs. I give free advice all the time. It's probably not even a great idea, but, I try not to be too specific and say I'm not giving medical advice, but, there's hope. I've seen a lot of people turn their lives around. People come to me after the fact, right? After they've reversed their health already. And now they want to maintain it and elevate it, and then they're discovering chiropractic for the first time, right? Where they may not have considered it. They didn't understand it can be a part of a health optimization program, as opposed to just, going there when your back hurts or when you got a migraine or whatever, Mostly people think it's about pain. People tell me all the time, oh, I don't know, that's great what you guys do. I'm glad I don't need you, you know what I mean? I don't have back pain. And I'm like, yeah, it's not the only symptom that comes from impotence, blockages, interference between the brain and the body in the nervous system, what we call subluxations, can cause a myriad of symptoms. The spine controls the body, and the mind communicates to the body and all the organs, all the appendages, everything through the spine. So if your spine's not healthy, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to have all kinds of problems. Believe me, I've had them all. All right? So, I don't want to digress too much, but yeah, I mean, look, I just fired my chiropractor. And basically, he was scaring me. He was kind of looking like a bandit. I was going there every day, and he was only one of the 3 or 4 in the office that really dressed like a bandit. And you know, like, he was pretty cool. He had a real soft touch, and so, you know, I liked the guy. And then he told me how he takes care of his health, you know, like more allopathic methods than, you know, like a true natural kook like me, who tries to avoid Western medicine entirely, right? And so I don't push that on anyone. But I'm here, you know, for you if that's the route you want to go. I want to try to support you. And so I just want you to know that I say so too much. I know that. But from a young little lad, I was all on the pills, all right? Even 4 years ago, roughly, I was working too much. I was run down, and I couldn't take a day off, and I desperately needed it. And that would have solved my temporary health breakdown, my health crisis, right? And so what did I do? I fell back to my old ways because I wanted to keep working. I had to keep working. And so I was looking for a pill to fix me. Not even to fix me. I didn't expect that. Well, I was hoping, but you know, I ended up taking antibiotics. You go to the doctors, it was kind of a fiasco, and they culture you to find nothing, they don't know, and then, and so they're kind of just guessing, like, hey, well, you want to try some antibiotics? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I guess so, which was a bad move, and I knew better, but it's, you know, that placebo effect. Give me a pill, give me something, and, you know, of course, they didn't do anything but probably mess with my gut biome and stuff. So, you know, once I got some rest, I felt better. Right? When you need rest, rest is the answer. Antibiotics are not going to fix your lack of sleep or your lack of rest. All right, so there's my big pause word. I'm going to learn to admit it, okay, people? I'm working on it. I'm going to address it every time I say it. So, or it could be my tagline. It could be like, Peggy Hall, what does she say? Shall we? So, I'm trying not to digress too far, all right, from the original topic, which was firing your doctor. All right, so, I mean, look, my brother, I can out him without worrying about HIPAA, which I guess there's no more HIPAA anymore anyway. But, you know, he's kind of trying to make the switch late in life. He recently had a stroke, and so he's on, you know, all kinds of meds. I don't even know, blood thinners and high blood pressure meds and statins, and actually I wrote down a few I should know. And so it's not my expertise helping people wean off of these drugs. It can be tricky, and that's maybe what some naturopaths do, I believe. You could inform me as to exactly whose specialty that is. Some doctors will work with you on that. So if you're trying to like wean down your dosage, maybe you're starting to get healthy. My brother went on the whole Gundry diet, and so he needs less medication because of that. And you know, he's not working anymore, so his stress levels are way down. So lower your stress. Usually the blood pressure could come down too. I mean, of course, there's a lot of other factors, but if that was a causal factor and you eliminate it, it can maybe have a change, and maybe a drastic change. And so I think that's what's happening in that case. And I've seen it a lot. People do miracles, you know, medical miracles. And the doctors know this. It's just not easy. So they can't tell you, you know, go home and eat freaking kale and you're going to be all right. Your cancer's going to go away. They'll lose their license if they said something crazy like that. And, you know, probably you would die. They'd be causing a lot of people to die, right? But yeah, certainly prevention is the best medicine. So, you know, if studies and research show and the doctors agree that, you know, good nutrition can certainly be a factor of your health, that's, you know, enough for me, man. You know, I learned that at an early age when I was going to, I had a job with the coverage, and they sent me to the medical doctor. I'm 19. He does a whole proctology exam. I think, looking back, that was kind of weird. Anyway, you know, they determined I had high cholesterol, and, you know, if you take a quick history, get into my nutrition, I was eating pretty much 100% Taco Bell. So they made, thank God these doctors were smart enough to send me to a nutritionist, right? And they had someone on staff who really knew her stuff, right? And probably some biochemistry background too. Like, the lady was obviously a genius, but she didn't get crazy with me. She was just like, look, here's a picture, right, of some grapes. Do you know what these are? It's like, grapes? And she puts up another picture, and she goes, you know what this is? I'm like, broccoli? I was like, are these the tough ones? Or are you starting off with the easy ones? And she's like, well, if you know what they are, she's like, why don't you eat them? Like, why are you not eating them? I was like, well, because they don't sell that at Taco Bell, right? Taco Bell got the melted gooey cheese, the queso morphines, and the drive-through. Yeah, you can't beat that. So, good luck trying. Anyway, eventually the grapes won. I'm not really, you know, a daily Taco Bell. I used to do Taco Bell like, I don't know, twice a day on average. It's pretty bad. So, not saying you can't eat healthy at Taco Bell. I'm not trying to promote Taco Bell, even though I said those two words in succession several times now. I believe they're owned by PepsiCo, and well, that might be a good stock to buy if you're into stocks in the market right now. Yeah, I know I'm digressing. All right, Dr. Benfield, keep it on topic. Keep it on topic. So, I forgot what the topic was. It's starting to sound like Jeff Berwick, but I don't have no Lucy. I got my boys out around somewhere. All right, we'll bring it back home. 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 Oh yeah, firing your doctor was the topic of this video. So if you watch a lot of my other videos, you know, you'll start to get little ideas, as crazy as they may be, you know, potential insight into knowing thyself, into knowing your own health. Like, if you're not healthy and you don't know why, I'm here to try to maybe give you some hints and clues, just throw some random ideas at you. Maybe some of them will spark a fire in your minds, and you know, get you thinking, get you closer to understanding, you know, why you're not healthy, because that's a problem, right? Like, once you know why you're not healthy, you're more than 51% of the way there, right? Okay? Once you know, you're good. Like, you can fix it, okay? It might take some time, it might take some effort. Some people it goes fast and easy. You could take the easy road, you can take the hard road. I guess it's up to you, right? But if you choose life and choose health, it really becomes easy. That is the path, you know, the downhill path. So you'll know, because you'll start to feel better. And, you know, usually people start feeling better right away. Like, you know, sometimes it's obvious to me. People come to me with anxiety, and, you know, maybe it's their job is friggin' killing them. It's like, can you change jobs maybe, you know, or change careers or something? Take a vacation, right? Sometimes people have anxiety and they're just pounding the coffee and the Monsters or whatever drinks, caffeine, power drinks, 8-hour power, I don't know. People get addicted to that stuff and they're heavy on it. So, you know, if I see that in the history, I'm like, hey, you know, it's going to make sense if you cut all that out. The anxiety might just go away just like that. Like, that could be a big causal factor. And, yeah, so, you know, it's not an easy road, but there are some good doctors who figured things out, and, you know, thank God for them all, because, or bless them all, kudos to them all, because, you know, as smart as I think I am, you know, I didn't figure all this stuff out, all right? I'm following data, research, doctors who I trust, who've seen data and research and anecdotal stories and tons of life experience and anecdotal stories. You know, there's a lot of common threads there. And we know, like most of us know, like you know what you need to do for your health, okay? For most of us Westerners here in America, diet, right? Like, what am I having right now? Sugary coffee, mocha, with some raw honey, so that's good. Almond milk, which is debatable. I don't think it's like super inflammatory. And you add some other junk in there, but once again, I'm digressing. All right, so all of this digression, these are all the digressions you need to make in order to fire your doctor. All right, so if you want to fire your doctor, I would say the first step would be get onto some Dr. Stephen Gundry. Okay, he's got you some real good diet tips, and he's going where you don't hear too many other doctors talk about, like lectins, how lectins are destroying your gut and your gut lining, and like that's pretty much all we're eating in our diet, so no wonder we're not too healthy. And if you realize you know how to make healthier choices, you know if you have educated mind to make educated choices, you're going to do better. If you just kind of blindly go in, it's going to be tough because there's deception, of course, in the industry, labeling, there's advertising laws, and sometimes people are in the gray area of these laws and they're pushing the limits, redefining words and terms. So it can be tough out there. Like MSG, right? We know MSG is bad, and you get it at the Chinese restaurant, right? So you try not to get it in your Chinese food. You say, "Oh, please, no MSG," right? And then they MSG you anyway. No, but it's like this addictive chemical, and it's, I guess it's salty flavor, and it's in a lot of things. But the sneaky part is that it's not called monosodium glutamate. It could be called dextrose, which is like corn-derived starch, but they put it in there. It contains MSG, and they don't have to label it or something. I don't know exactly, but I know that there's like a bunch of other names for it, and you don't want it. Or if you do, you want very little of it. It's known to cause problems, right? Or said to cause problems. You fact checkers could check me out there. All right. So yeah, firing your doctor is going to be a potentially arduous journey, but it all culminates in that one moment when you make the mental leap that you're just going to do it. You're going to live healthier. You're going to live more natural. I've seen my brother do it, and I've been pushing diet and exercise and sunlight and natural health down his throat. Chiropractic, I'm still telling him get with a chiropractor, and definitely got to push him because it's not like he's just getting up and doing it, and it can be tough. Right now I don't have a chiropractor. I had to fire my chiropractor, and so I'm feeling you because I don't have medical insurance. I don't use allopathic doctors or Western medicine whatsoever. Okay, I don't even allow needles in my arms. I don't allow blood draws. I don't test my blood. I don't prick my fingers for any reason. I'm not big on testing. I'm big on knowing. Right? Maybe I'm an ass because I assume, but it's quite easy to assume, right? You see the behaviors, like if someone's pounding sugar all day, do I have to test their blood sugar to know that they might have high blood sugar? Probably not. They might also be pre-diabetic, insulin resistant. You could look for symptoms and know. But you could assume if they're not, they probably will be. And if they're not, maybe they're getting some polyphenols or some good, counteractive, anti-inflammatory foods and molecules into them that are that would explain it. So yeah, Gundry talks a lot about the blue zones, and so yeah, I would say start there. YouTube does have a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of stuff out there, but there are consistent lines. There's consistent threads throughout all the natural health. You can Google up anti-inflammatory diets. That's basically what Gundry's talking about, and you'd be surprised. But once you know which foods are really working for you, which ones are working against you, that alone can make a major shift in your health. Just getting some sunlight every day. Maybe you live too far up north or too far down south. You might want to move closer to the equator, take a vacation, get a little sunlight. Might give you the health boost you need. many of us over-exercise, all right? So, certainly I'm a proponent of exercise, and if you're trying to make changes, you're going to have to work hard. But if you're just trying to maintain, then you might be working too hard, okay? If you've already done some work, you got some muscle on there, maybe you don't need to be, like a Navy SEAL built like that. If you're already squatting 700 pounds, you may not have to get it up to 1,000. You might be good with that. Like, you're strong enough. How flexible are you? It's all about balance. And when you find the balance, right, between your spirit, your mind, and your body, and you open up all these channels to healing, because it's a hierarchy, right? The mind is in the middle with the spirit on top. Heal the spirit heals the mind heals the body. It doesn't have to be in that order. A lot of people come into me for physical intervention, and we try to work it, up the channel to raise the vibration, and that works, but it works slower than a spiritual healing, like from above down. And that's what we try to do, the work above down, inside out. Chiropractors, we're trying to channel the energy of the universe or God or whatever, and allow the body to heal itself. Right, so that's really powerful, and of course they say faith heals. So your faith in your body's ability to heal, your faith in the chiropractor to help you, even though they're just guiding you back to that truth that the body heals itself. Most chiropractors have been trained not to take credit, to think that they're healing anything or fixing anything. We don't fix anything. We just maybe we fix joint immobility. If we can, we increase joint mobility. So maybe we're fixing a lack of motion in joints, arguably so. And then there's a sequelae of events, how that affects the nervous system and all the other sequential systems. Yeah, so get adjusted, get yourself a chiropractor, get yourself a naturopath, get yourself online, start learning, research, and discover, and become your own doctor. When you take responsibility for your health and realize that ultimately you're the doctor. Don't think your chiropractor's smarter than you, unless he's me. No. Or your doctors are smarter than you. Sometimes they are, but they don't know it all. Maybe they do, but if you're feeling a dissonance, right, you're not vibing with what they're saying. They're saying take more pills, and you're like, hey, doc, I want to get off of these pills. Maybe you don't understand that's the way to get off. You could take more first. I don't know. I don't do that. I would say not. But, right, if it's obviously not gelling with you, get out of there. I mean, I would try to, I've seen people, people are so addicted mentally to these pharmaceuticals, they think they cannot live without them and they can never get rid of them. I mean, if you had your thyroid removed, you might need parathyroid forever. I mean, could you grow your thyroid back? I don't know. You guys tell me. Get the research on that one. I'd love to see it. Maybe they're doing some good things with stem cells and stuff. But once you start cutting organs out, it's going to be hard to generate natural thyroid, thyroxine, what are they giving you? There's a whole bunch of them out there. Synthroid, I don't know. Like I say, that's not my wheelhouse. But, I would recommend try to not get surgery if you could avoid it. If it has to save your life, I guess it's better to live without some organ perhaps than be dead and be reliant on some pharmaceutical, or perhaps there's natural replacements, And I'm amazed at what the body can do and regenerate itself, right? The liver is known to regenerate. Certainly we regenerate, we're generating or regenerating from stem cells. And I was in an office with a doctor who was doing stem cells. Very fascinating. I didn't work there long enough to really, I seen it in action, but I didn't get to, bond with anyone and see their results, like the before and the afters, really. But the doctor was a genius, and I think it's difficult to do this cutting edge stuff here or anywhere, license wise, legal wise, or whatever. But I think for this guy, it was a turn in the right direction to do stem cells. I think he's helping people a lot more than he did throughout his whole career. So he's really, enthusiastic about it. Like I said, I don't inject anything, so I don't even play that. I do have an open mind, so I might change my mind. But at this point in the game, I'm just trying to, do what's natural and let the body heal itself. Some things are just not going to heal themselves, and like if you totally sever a muscle into two pieces, it might need to be surgically reattached. So I would have to say, if you could avoid it, avoid it. But certainly people will tear ligaments like the ACL and not have them reattached through surgery. Perhaps just live without it and strengthen the muscles around it. And they have a faster recovery, and they do quite well athletically, performance-wise, whatever, pain-wise and all that. So, yeah, I mean, the body can really adapt to all the crazy traumas and insults we give to it. Love yourself, people. Love yourself, all right? If you're in that loving space of loving yourself, the body is going to be, in a better state to heal. I think that's where we begin, all right? So, deep breaths. Look up Wim Hof. Get the Wim Hof breathing. Jack Cruz. It's got the light effects, the quantum healing, circadian biology, Gundry. Get you some Joe Dispenza, all right? If you're going to fire your doctor, get you some Joe Dispenza. Get you some Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, all right? These are my peeps, all right? That's where I've developed my philosophy from. These were my mentors and gurus. I see a lot of healthy people, vegans and stuff, doing the Sebi diet. If your diet's horrible, that might be an easy way to go and start and follow. I don't know that I condone the whole thing. I recommend to my patients anti-inflammatory diets. You can Google up 1,000 versions of that, and you'll start to see the same foods to avoid. They're inflammatory. And so Gundry's talking about lectins. I think, when you say the old cliche saying, guys got it down to a science, this guy's got it down to a science, all right? And he's a top scientist in my mind. Got impressive credentials. All right, so Gundry is the man. Check it out. And, if you got any questions, comments below, maybe you're wondering what to look for in a chiropractor, you don't know where to begin, certainly you can check me out. Follow me on Facebook or follow me on here on YouTube. I also have a BitChute channel, DC Troy. I almost never say like, share, and comment below. Subscribe, but I just said it. All right? Don't make me repeat it. I'm mocking myself. I did a video mocking that. And I guess it's not bad when people just kind of throw it in there, like organically, like the way it kind of flowed in for me just now. But people be annoying, bro. Like, first third of the video, they're promoting and pumping websites, and then in the middle and then the whole end, there's like, wasn't too much content there. But I guess you're going to have to earn it. You want content these days, people. Unless you come here, it's free. But, you're getting just rants. Sometimes they're cuss-fueled rants, all right? Those are the best ones. But I can't always post those. I can almost hardly ever post those, Like, I get too, too violent, too racial, too hateful, right? I'm too anti-community. Anti-agenda or something. So we're keeping it here. We're keeping it real. We're going along. We're not fighting. We've let go. We're doing the Taoism thing. We're not trying to fight any agendas or promote any kind of tyrannical divide. What we are promoting is health, nature, baby, nature. Personally, I'm into longevity. You don't have to be. You may not want to live long, but you might want to be strong while you live. So we're promoting strength, power to the people. All right, power to the self, power to the individual. All right, so you could help support your groups more and make this world a better place. I know that's mostly what everyone wants, and some are haters who just want to destroy everything, but I think most 90% at least want to make it a better place. I think a lot of us certainly might disagree, and we might be gathering info to decide, what's the best way, or to make it happen. Sometimes we gotta test out some ways that don't work and figure it out, just like Edison. Gotta fail our way to success. So I think we are failing our way to success, and as long as we continue to learn and grow, we're on the proper path of evolution. I think we devolve when we just not growing. We're just not getting it. We're not learning from our mistakes. We're not learning from our wins. We can't repeat our wins. We can't avoid our losses. Then we're not, we're not manifesting. We're not taking control, as I believe, we're meant to, right? Like, we certainly have a lot of power and control over our destinies. So if you're watching this video, bless you, because you're taking the leap, okay? And officially you're 51% there. You've decided to commit to watching 36 minutes of me ranting about natural health with very little content, but I gave you a few guys, right? I gave you a few pearls. So sometimes instead of giving you 6 hours of info, I'm just going to give you Jack Cruz, because I can't say it as good as he gets it. I mean, his Facebook posts are unbelievable. Like, you want science, you want papers, you want big words, Jack's your man. I mean, I'm not trying to play like I'm some biochemist, or a neurosurgeon. But, I know what works for me, right? Like, you can't tell me, people try to tell me chiropractic did nothing to help straighten out my scoliosis. And it was the adjunct therapies. It was the traction, the muscle work, and whatever else, anything but the chiropractic. And I'm like, man, I don't know about that. I think those other factors might have been the 80%, and the chiropractic could have been the 20%. You could argue that. But I can't really argue that it wasn't a factor at all. I mean, I guess I could try to make a frivolous argument, but I wouldn't believe it. So I'm committed to believing it was at least 20% of my healing, and it makes sense. I mean, you open up those joints, with some force, scar tissue around it. All the science I learned, totally just makes very practical sense to me. There's no hocus pocus in it. The medical doctors that hold so much respect, they're higher than God now, who make the laws now, they'll pretty much tell you, hey, they're sending people to us now. It's crazy. People go to the emergency room and they tell me, they said, go see a chiropractor. And it's like, they did? So they know what helps. They know it helps with pain. They may not know it helps with anything else, right? Like erectile dysfunction or, whatever ails you. You know what I mean? And we can't even say that, right? I can't even legally say it helps with erectile dysfunction because, it's not so much direct, and then there's dots to be connected. So do you always have to connect the dots in the same way? No, you might find another way and have another picture that works. Maybe it doesn't work as well. But you see creative kids connect the dots in their own unique ways. So look, if your medical doctor is willing to help you get more natural and, whatever, take less medications, right? Not be so reliant on the medications. Perhaps work with you with physical therapists and chiropractors and exercise and whatever natural methods, diet change and stress change, lifestyle changes to maybe avoid surgery, right? So if your doctors are actually working against their own two therapies, they're probably pretty good doctors, because that's really all they got. But I do that too. I want to work you off of getting off of chiropractic, right? I don't want you to have to rely on me 3 times a day or even once a day. Even 3 times a week's probably too much. Like once a week, if you're coming to me more than that, maybe we, do need to do intense work on you. But those are rare cases. Usually, we can get you into a maintenance schedule. After maybe an intense portion of adjusting for a few months, we could get you down to once a week, once a month. It'd be nice to have you down to once a year, but to do that, you're going to have no stress. So yeah, there's my number one tip for health. Eliminate your stress, right? And that's difficult to externally do because there's external factors, but you do have control of your emotions. Hopefully, you can take control of your emotions and not let the external factors stress you out, right? So it's how you interpret these triggers or potential triggers to not let them trigger you and not get stressed. Don't get tight. Breathe in that sweet-ass prana. Let it go. If you're freaking out, count your blessings, okay? That's what I do when I freak out. I have a lot of anxiety in the mornings, high testosterone and probably cortisol and whatnot. And so I'm thinking, count your blessings, right? Don't worry about these negative potential futures. Get out of your head, and maybe get into your body. So if I'm in that much in my head, like if I'm freaking out on the verge of an anxiety attack, I'll do some push-ups. I'll do some, burpees or something like that. Well, I lied. I'm not really a burpee guy. But that was for you burpee guys, all right? Or you burpee gals out there, all right? Or you burpee people. Or all you burpee, am I using the right? Don't get me started. I'll use whatever terminology I want, all right? I don't have to use, politically correct terminologies. How's that angle? You can see my toaster oven. I got some mushrooms up on the shelf there. Yeah, stick with me, people. Fire your doctor. Redirect that money probably into... it's just not financial advice, but probably into Bitcoin. I got some Bitcoin myself. I think mostly, can I dare say, sometimes the things we do create more harm than good. There's terms we learn like nosocomial. What was the other one? I want to say what? No, that's not the word. Iatrogenic? What is it? Something like that. I don't know, I'm fading. But you get the idea. Alright? So, when the cure does more harm than the good, it's time to look for some other cures. Alright? Just keep in mind our philosophy. The body heals itself. The power that made the body heals the body. Alright? So you don't need really any other help. You do need other people, right? No man's an island, no gal's an island. So it's good to have, good support. But if you got some good family in your life, they probably help keep you healthier than all your doctors combined, right? So in your loving relationships, that's what's up. We talk a lot about the balance, the 5 areas, and in your life, right? Your health, your wealth, your relationships, your what else? Health, wealth, relationships, your spirituality, and what was the other one? Totally fading. Going way off topic. I guess that's why I'm fading. But we'll circle back, all right? We'll circle back. All you Peppermint Patty fans, we're going to circle back to that one. And we're just having some fun with you today. As you fire your doctor, I wish you the best of health and the best of wealth. Certainly, I do want to say a word of caution. If you're on a lot of medications and your plan is to get off of them, you might want to be really careful and work with some specialists. I would suggest don't just go cold turkey on your own, especially if you've been on medications for a long time. You have whether they're statins, antidepressants, antipsychotics. Certainly consult with your doctor. Maybe you want to fire your medical doctor, get another medical doctor who's willing to help you get off the medications, maybe very slowly. They work with titrations and schedules and weaning. This is it could be very dangerous. Okay, you could die. You could have very adverse reactions if you just go cold turkey off your medications. So I recommend do not do that, all right? But, I definitely recommend, taking the natural path and taking the steps forward, taking back control of your life, taking back control of your health. So kudos to all you people who are determined to be healthy and to live longer. My brother was revived. I think he, had a near death or died, right? He had a stroke. And then I think he had a heart attack and they revived him. And he was jacked up. So he had a bunch of therapy, it's typical with the stroke. And look, he came back a new person with a new will to live, I think. So he never before wanted to, follow Gundry. And now he's teaching it to me. Now he's telling me not to eat so many potatoes. They're full of lectins. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to eat more sweet potatoes. But I didn't realize that potatoes were that full of lectins. I mean, come on, it's denial. I want to have me some French fries. But I'm good with the sweet potato fries. It's all good, all right, people? Get you some sweet potato fries. Dun, dun, dun. Good times never looked so good. Sweet potato pie. Dun, dun, dun. I love you, people. I'm out.